This is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
Views expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of WPSL. However, we do encourage you to like and share them on Facebook and other social media. It's time for Joanne's World of Nutrition, brought to you by Nutrition World. Safe, historic downtown Fort Pierce across from City Hall. And hosted by Joanne Seeger.
Good morning, everyone. How is everyone doing today? Well, as everyone knows, today's my favorite Thursday, the third Thursday of the month, with my guest, Dr. Ravi. Good morning, Dr. Ravi.
Good morning, everyone.
How you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Good, awesome. You're always smiling. I don't think I've ever seen you not smile. I love it. Super awesome. Well, you know, when you texted me the topic for the week, I was like, duh, like, geez.
You should know this.
I should know this, right? But yes, I'm also the mom that hasn't bought school supplies yet. So the topic of the day, go ahead, tell all our listeners.
Back to school health.
Okay, back to school health. Now, because of that, I think we definitely need to start with the breathing exercise for all us parents, grandparents, caretakers, whether we're homeschooling or choosing to send our kids back. We definitely need some deep breaths, don't we, folks?
I'm home reform schooling.
Yes, I love it. Yes, or rehabbing, whatever you're doing. Let's take some deep breaths. All right, so Cliff, you remember you got to count to 5,
I was
okay?
doing my breathtaking already.
Yeah, you're a counter. You can't breathe.
That's right.
All right.
I can't breathe during this.
Yeah, you're not allowed to breathe.
But
Okay.
I know I'm a professional. I know how to talk and breathe at the same time.
All right, well, now, guys, get ready. I have a little extra lingo for now. It only took me 10 years to start extra lingo with the breathing exercise.
Really? Okay.
I want everyone to picture that they're under the most beautiful, gentle waterfall as they do the breathing exercise. And Dr. Ravi, I think you'll appreciate why, because I have been really tensing my neck and shoulder muscles, you know. So we want to really relax the shoulders, relax the neck, you know, still sit up straight, you know, really get those lungs expanded, but just picture a nice gentle waterfall coming over you as you're doing the breathing exercise. Let that tension go. You like that one, huh, Dr. Ravi?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, you release that tension.
All right,
Release the
here we go.
tension.
So we're going to exhale. Any newbies, welcome to the show. Might sound silly, but breathing is very important, so please join us. So exhale. We're going to breathe in through our nose for 5, hold for 5, exhale for 5. And we'll do this 3 times, okay?
All right.
Ready? Everyone exhale out
Ready to let it
trauma,
all out,
stress,
all
fear,
negativity.
anxiety.
Okay, now begin with your nostrils. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. 2, 3, 4, 5. In. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. 2, 3, 4, 5. One more time. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. 2, 3, 4, 5.
Thank you, Cliff.
Feel
I
better
feel
now?
better. How about you
All
guys?
that tension
You
is
feel
gone.
good?
Yes.
Yes,
Feels
it
good,
feels
yeah.
great. Now, if that didn't work for your tension, I know a really good chiropractor.
Yes.
Who could it be but Dr. Ravi? Hey,
He's
that
got your
kind of
back.
rhymes.
He's got
That does make sense.
Well, Dr. Ravi, I hope that we have some newbies listening. So could you take the first minute out and tell all my newbies who you are?
Yeah, so I'm Dr. Ravi with Tradition Family Chiropractic. Our mission is to let everyone live a healthy life naturally through our 5 essentials. And so while you're listening today, we're going to be talking about those 5 essentials, from chiropractic to nutrition to decreasing toxins and increasing exercise oxygen in the body. And this is mainly guided towards the back to school students going back to school in St. Lucie County next week.
And really, this could apply to the teachers as well,
This is
know,
true,
right?
yes.
I mean, good
And
nutrition,
parents.
all the things that your practice stands for and what I try to, you know, talk about at the store, mind, body, spirit, that whole connection is critical for all of us right now to be getting through each day, but with joy and health and vibrance, not just getting through,
Yeah.
waking up and then can't wait to go back to sleep. So
Yeah. And when I text you the topic that I was interested in
Yeah.
talking about, it came about when I was looking at some articles, article that came out by Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Oh.
And I want to share
Oh,
some,
you
one of
read
the
those
statistics.
things, huh?
I do, yes.
all right, what did it say?
So what they state is that our health starts declining at age 27.
Oh, I'm just a few days older than that. All right. So
So with the information that we're going to be sharing today, it's going to help to make sure these future 27-year-olds, their health doesn't start declining at that age.
definitely.
Yeah.
And, a lot of people seem to be like, almost like a vacation period where, oh, well, it's a vacation, so no big deal. But this whole, first the quarantine, the staying home, and possibly if you're homeschooling your kids, can't be considered vacation anymore.
No.
with free for all for food and lounging on couches and Netflix
Watching
and
Netflix
technology
and,
and video games to all hours of the night. I hope my family's listening. So yeah, we gotta get back on
Yeah.
the game now. We don't want to let our health deteriorate anymore.
Exactly.
Especially now, we got to keep us vamped up and healthy.
And moving,
Moving, yeah.
and the opposite of moving is being sedentary, right? And
Yeah.
So
Yes.
this is what we've been doing. A lot of people been doing for the last 4 or 5 months since March.
Yeah, I'm almost tempted to like throw my couch away.
Yeah.
It's like when someone has a problem with alcohol or something, they get rid of the bottles,
problem, yeah.
I might have to get rid of my couch.
So, with kids going back to school, many children, in fact, even adults, we sit too much. And this creates a lot of different types of stagnant problems with our health. And so these things lead to, diabetes, poor posture. And so when you look at it from a structural standpoint of what I do chiropractic related, we create a hyperkyphosis. What that word means is we have a hunchback.
Oh,
Right.
Right.
And that's definitely coming from a sedentary style, sitting for too long a period of time. And this is concerning, especially for those individuals that are staying home and parents are deciding to keep their kids at home from school. You think of how long they're going to be sitting in front of the computer for.
right.
Right.
And also that text neck, that
The
curve
text
in the neck.
that leads to the dowager's hump. So that text neck, the scientific term is that dowager's hump.
Dowager's hump. How did that word come about?
I don't know.
Is that someone's last name?
Someone
or something?
coined the term,
Yeah.
and
So
won a Nobel Prize
some fancy,
for it.
some fancy doctor's like, that neck is curved. Let's call it my last name.
Yes. And one of the research articles along with that, the dowager's hump or, hyperkyphosis leads to these kids having lower self-esteem.
Wow.
Yeah. So it
For
affects
real?
mindset.
That makes sense because I remember when I was going to college, like everyone was like, your posture is everything. Walk up tall, straight, so you feel better about yourself and your self-esteem. But I didn't really know that they actually studied that.
Yeah. So it lowers the self-esteem and it doesn't allow the individual to express themselves fully. And when we talk about expressing ourselves fully, our relationships with one another, our, what we do on our spare time, leads to now depression, and people can't figure out who they are. And when they go onto social media, especially a lot of kids, teens today are on those platforms. They're being cyberbullied.
For hours.
Yeah, they're
hours.
being cyberbullied. They're seeing new terminology, and they're seeking out these words.
Yep. Well, it's funny, I have a lot of kids at home and I always see them, their faces are right in the technology, inches away. And it's like, I'm constantly, okay, we got to cut back the time or, can you put it further out? But it's like, you step away and it's like, boom, right back to what it was. It's really hard. I mean, I'm sure my parents had difficulties in their generation, but for me to really say a very short amount of time when there's not much else to do, especially if you're a working parent, But I found that my kids were searching words that I literally almost hit the floor when I saw the results that were available right on Google. An innocent word, and they were just trying to learn because they heard in social media, didn't understand, and the most inappropriate things popped up. So parents, I think I think most of us are aware now. I mean, social media is teaching us about all the dangers of the internet and our children. But I mean, really, in a second, it took my daughter to search a word because she didn't understand it and saw the most inappropriate, to me, disgusting things.
Yeah.
So please be careful, because I didn't know that. I didn't know those images were allowed to be on the internet.
Yeah.
I thought like that's considered, yeah, we had porn, honestly.
Oh,
I
yes.
really thought it was not allowed. You know, you had to have memberships or,
Uh-huh.
yeah, so holy moly, that was scary.
Yeah,
So we got to be
you know,
careful.
It is with the whole platform of social media. You know, we have these months that designate to certain things. For example, like Pride. You know, kids that don't know what that is, they look into it and they find out more information. And when they don't know who they are, because they have low self-esteem, they start looking up other things.
Yeah,
So
they're
it
trying
leads
to find themselves, but
Yes.
sometimes in the wrong way. Well, I know that, you know, as we talked about, all these things are important. It's not just, you know, what they eat, or it's not just, you know, where they go to school. It's everything. And that's funny because posture, to me, besides going to, you know, a great chiropractor and making sure that the spine is okay and it's communicating with the rest of the body, those rollers that I got from you a couple years ago now, those actually have an extra little feature that I don't know if you've ever used them for. So you told me to put them behind my neck
Behind
to
the neck.
help, right? But do you know, in yoga, if you put those rollers by your bra line, that helps, or for the guys too, you know. Is there a technical term for that line area? I don't know in the body if there is.
No.
Okay, good. So we'll call it the bra line. That opens up your heart chakra.
Yes.
And that helps you you speak your truth with your throat chakra and open up and, you know, really feel like you can be yourself. So to get a little, you know, new agey there.
Yeah.
So align the neck right with the roller behind your neck, or just push it down to the bra area.
To the mid-back region?
The mid-back region. Oh,
Okay.
that sounds more official. Thank you. You know, that will help open up the heart chakra. And my son, who's 17 now, he's actually really getting into that stuff.
Oh, great.
And I never thought I would approach him with these type of things, but his girlfriend has, and he feels more comfortable in his body. He feels more at peace. He doesn't feel the anxiety. He feels more self-assured. Definitely making a lot less bad choices, if any, right now.
Good.
Very few. So yeah, so sometimes we need to like maybe learn ourselves about things that we never would think to bring up to our kids.
Yeah.
And it might work for them.
Yeah.
So
Especially, you know, with when we talk about chiropractic and how, you know, everything suffers when we're out of alignment, right? You know, teens are especially risk for these different types of spinal misalignments. So when we're stressed, when we don't know ourselves, it causes our muscles to tense up. And this creates the muscles that pull on the spine, creating subluxations.
that makes sense.
Yeah, and so you know, the shoes that they're wearing, you know, the way that we're sitting in the classroom or at home in front of that computer, is the way that our spine will often misalign, cause that text neck or that reverse curve that you're talking about.
Right, and especially if you have they're hunched over a desk or a laptop all day or computer, that could really cause some problems.
Yeah.
Now, I notice when I'm in your waiting room, I see entire families step into your, you know, treatment area, and it's like mom, dad, kids, they all just, you work on them all at once. So if a family thinks like, oh, well, we're really not suffering, we don't have anything, would it be just something like a monthly check-in where to make sure everything's lined
And
up?
that's what I recommend for a lot of my wellness patients, is making sure their alignment is the best, and that's like monthly adjustments.
Okay.
And that's where we see the families, you know.
Right, and I know the kids feel safe with you and, you know, never
Yeah.
worry. So kids love you.
They love their stickers and the lollipops.
Yes, I know. Well, I'm going to talk about lollipops later. All right. So I'm going to talk about some things I do at home, because I made this joke earlier. You know, I was like, oh, how should I research? Because sometimes, you know, social media and the internet gives us a lot of incorrect information. So I said, you know what, instead of doing that, I'm just going to go with my 17 years of being a mom and my 33 years with nutrition and put those two things together for today, because it makes the most sense, because it's practical things that I use every day, and everyone knows I'm not perfect. My kids are not perfect, so I believe I'm in the real world. So the first tip I always suggest, if your kids are running out the door or not sitting down for meals, because that's the reality now, we're not sitting down for meals, is shakes. I love shakes. I think shakes are awesome. I promote them all the time as long as they're clean. So if you go to purchase a shake for your family, obviously you want it to be delicious so your children will consume it, but you don't want it full of sugar and artificial colors or artificial flavors or artificial sweeteners. So once again, check out the ingredients. Don't go by what the front says. But shakes are a great way to have a convenient breakfast. Line up all the shakes in the morning, and you can hide stuff in there. So don't let your kids listen to this part of the show. You can open up, the zinc capsules and put it in there. You can enrich it with some more D3. You can put some extra fiber in there, like some greens.
Some super greens or
something.
something.
Some super greens, where normally you give a kid a little cup of this dark green liquid, they're going to turn their nose and run. So shakes are a great way to hide them. Now, I do love New Zealand grass-fed whey. To me, the kids love whey. It's smooth, it's creamy, it's yummy. It's the only dairy product that I usually promote, but I try to say I'd rather do a little whey that makes them have a concentrated amount of nutrients.
And it's coming from New Zealand.
Yeah,
where
exactly.
Their farming process is so it's
yes,
clean.
And they've been using it for a long time with no health issues. So I do believe there's a place for it in our world, as long as it's not misused and not, bought by the bad way people, by the bad way people. So I do have the kids, they've been using the isogenic shakes. It's called Isoline. I do sell them at the store. They're creamy, they're delicious, lots of different flavors. But if you want your kids to go vegan, I do sell the Garden of Life ones. Sometimes the vegan ones, like my husband only uses the vegan ones. They're great. They taste delicious, but there's something about the consistency that's not as creamy. Yeah. So some kids like it, some kids don't. But just, if your problem is you're waking up, and right now the transition with waking up early, getting them to school in time, or starting your day earlier so you can get to work, usually I see parents doing the bowl of Cheerios or doing a bagel or, some refined pastry product, or gosh forbid some frozen Pop-Tarts. Oh gosh, don't even say Little Debbie's. Oh, but I guess that's true. And parents do that for breakfast. That is completely empty calorie refined food. So if you can get the peace of mind that you started yourselves and your children's day with a healthier option, a shake is a great way not only to make sure you're getting the macronutrients, the fiber, the protein, the healthy fats, then you have that peace of mind that their brain has some good fuel and their body has some good fuel.
And I'm a big fan of these supplemental stuff, these breakfast approaches, because what the number one vegetable is that teens eat. It's not really a vegetable.
Oh, okay. Well, you just gave away the answer. If it's not French fries.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And
helps them make better choices.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of kids now, don't even know what real fruits and vegetables are. Everything, other than the occasional peas that we throw in the side, kids are getting so particular and they're not eating vegetables. My Jonathan's girlfriend she's 17, was raised without vegetables completely. I thought she was joking. I said, come on, they tried to get you to eat them, right? No, my dad doesn't like them, so no one eats vegetables in the house. I'm like, that blows my mind. How could you not even try to give your kid at least some steamed vegetables with dinner?
Yeah.
But they're not, so
So talking about steamed vegetables for dinner, with families now in this new routine, parents are now going to be starting to go back to work. Kids are probably still at home. Do you recommend the shakes for dinner time as well?
Yes. Well,
If they're
not
in a
really
rush?
dinner, Dr. Ravi. Well, I feel like a lot of the activities that most parents were rushing to, a lot of them have been canceled. So has slowed down that fast dinner pace of let's go through a drive-through so we can get our kid from school to the activity. So not that I want activities to be canceled, but I am thankful that maybe less drive-through runs.
Yeah.
But I give my kids a shake right when they get back home from school too.
Okay.
Most school systems, I'm not crazy about cafeteria food, never have been. So say they do eat that, it's usually very early. Most school lunch programs, around 10:30, anywhere to 12:30. That's really early. So if they're coming home 3:30 to 4, they're usually starving, at least for real nutrients. So I usually do a second shake, and that way I can pace myself to plan a healthier dinner.
Okay.
Which, I've definitely, like most others, I've fallen off that healthy path, so I'm going to definitely get back on it. Like last night, my brother-in-law, he washed and cut all the vegetables to be ready to steam. Just having that done before I walked in the door from work was so great. All I had to do is get the steamer pot out, throw it on, yummy, easy. So these are the type of things that if you give everyone in the household jobs to make it easier, like work as a team together, it won't be all on one person.
Making them part of the process.
Yeah, part of the process. I keep saying I'm going to make charts, but I also don't want to be that mom that everything is so routine and regimentated. But I think we need it because it helps and it makes life easier for all of us. And we're going to take a break, Dr. Ravi, but when I get back, I know I'm going to list all the things that have always been in my pantry that I believe keep my kids healthy and antibiotic-free their whole lives. Thank you very much.
System.
I'm really proud of that.
That's awesome.
All right, so we'll be right back, everyone, with more back-to-school health products. Yeah.
It's Joanne's World of Nutrition with more to come in just a moment.
Hi, this is Joanne for Nutrition World. Just letting all of my listeners know we have been diligent in sanitizing the store and using every precaution possible to keep our customers safe. I am offering free shipping on all orders over $30 if you choose not to come in the store. I am really hoping that all my listeners are taking time right now to get fresh air, to get exercise into their daily routine, keep hydrated, and get the proper amount of sleep. It's critical right now that attitude is everything. To please take time to laugh, to give yourself a break. You can find Nutrition World right on US 1 in Fort Pierce, across from Fort Pierce City Hall, in between Orange Avenue and Avenue A. Our phone number is 772-464-3598. Call me with any questions or concerns. All my best, Joanne.
Joanne's Nutrition World, now open from 11 to 3, Monday through Saturday. Call 464-3598.
Hey, it's Dr. Ravi at Tradition Family Chiropractic. We are dedicated to serving you and your family with integrity, compassion, and innovative care through the most advanced chiropractic care ever in chiropractic history, encouraging your health and your family's health to its maximum potential on a regular basis. Call us today at 772-345-0060 or schedule online at traditionhealth.com for your free consultation.
This is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
Is your business open? Let your customers know on WPSL and WSTU. Fuel your reopening digitally on TuneIn Worldwide and Alexa in your office, car, or home.
And now, back to Joanne's World of Nutrition with Joanne Seeger.
Hey everyone. Oh, and Dr. Ravi. Hey everyone. Thank you so much for listening today. We definitely appreciate spending the morning with you. I'm here with my good friend and chiropractor, Dr. Ravi, who is in Tradition. Amazing. You should definitely go visit him at his office. It's a really friendly, loving place and I will mention affordable too, because a lot of people think, oh my gosh,
Yes.
affordable.
I don't have insurance.
Yeah. So, I don't have insurance. And, so
We make it work.
definitely, yes, they make it work. So definitely go by. It's worth a trip to get, just say hi. All right. So we are talking about back to school health for not only the kids, the caretakers, the teachers, anyone listening. I think all the things we're talking about can apply. So we kind of jumped around a little bit the first half of the show, but I definitely want to cover what I always have in my pantry for the kids. I call it, my health box, and I'm like, okay, it's in the box. But we mentioned doing the shakes. And again, if you're the kind of caretaker that prepares healthy, amazing meals, all right, don't worry about the shakes. But if you're like me, on the go, want something fast, the shakes are great. Sometimes when the kids were younger, I would hide things in the shakes because obviously they couldn't swallow pills, or I didn't want them to eat gummies because a lot of companies make gummies for children, and for the longest time, many, many years, they were junk. It was like giving them more candy, and I definitely didn't want them to start the morning with more candy. They already crave it enough. So when you make a shake, you can open up a lot of these different capsules and just put the powder in, especially if you get it from a reputable store. They won't be white synthetic crystalline powders made with fillers and processed ingredients. They will be really healthy, whole food or food-based nutrients. So that's always what I have, the healthier version of the nutrient. I try to get the best, the one that's either coenzymated or methylated, that's just ready for the body to take it and absorb it. So now I do a lot of different things at different times of my life, but these again are the ones that are always in the pantry. So now there are actually clean gummies. So Garden of Life makes clean gummies now. They are not filled with junk at all. They're low sugar, and they actually have superfoods, fruits and vegetables built right into them. Not enough to say, okay, I don't need to give my kid fruits and vegetables, but at least the base is a healthy base, not just red dye number 40 and, back to the Flintstones day. Do they still make Flintstones? They do? How could they ethically still make those things?
And they still sell them.
Oh, my God. When I went to a nutrition course in Utah back 30 years ago, they put Flintstones on a tray and warmed it in a very low temperature, and little black bubbles from the petroleum, the tar, came out of them. Oh my gosh. And then as I would start working and I had adults say, oh, I just take Flintstones as my multi, I'd be like gagging, like gross. So
chemicals.
Really, if it looks so bright and colorful and tastes like candy, it is candy.
Read
So
the ingredients.
yeah, throw it out. Okay. All right. So back on point. So a multi. You can do gummies for kids now if it's made by Garden of Life. I don't know any other company that makes clean gummies, but check the ingredient panel. It's all right there. It will tell you. And check how many grams of sugar is in a serving. So those are two little markers that you want to check. Not the front. Always go to the back. All right. If your child is old enough to swallow a pill, that is awesome. Get a clean one or get a capsule. And once again, you can open it up into like a little applesauce. Some multivitamins, if they're clean, might have a taste that's unfamiliar, but it's something worth doing if it's like one quick spoon of applesauce and then a little swish of water. The next one, none of my listeners will be surprised by this, is probiotics. So probiotics are not just to give your kids when you take them to the doctors and they get an antibiotic. It's a preventative. It's your whole immunity. It's all the good bacteria in your gut. Helps digestion, absorption of nutrients, elimination of the bad stuff, promotes all good health. So you definitely always want to do probiotics for your entire family every day. I have heard 1 billion times, oh, Joanne, don't worry, I give my kids yogurt. I am telling you from my heart, not only is that not a solution for good bacteria in your gut, but it actually causes more problems in the gut. The dairy products that we have available to us, unless you're making some amazing homemade concoction at home, is not healthy for us. It's a concentrated milk product, very difficult to digest, does not have healthy strains of bacteria. They would have to charge like $7 for a cup of yogurt if it actually had the type of bacteria that our bodies wanted and utilized. And usually it has other ingredients that is not a good fit for the human body. So the next comment after I usually give the parents that spiel is, oh, but no, I get the sugar-free one. It doesn't have the sugar, Joanne. Don't worry. I know you told me no sugar. The sugar-free has artificial sweeteners. And that to me is even worse. Okay, so remember, chemicals is the human's body's biggest enemy. Okay, so if you must have yogurt, I'd rather you buy the real yogurt then, the organic grass-fed yogurt. But again, that's still concentrated, hard to digest, and not all the best forms of good bacteria. So don't do artificial, please. It's chemicals that the body doesn't recognize, and then the liver will have to deal with it. And no matter at any age, if you give your liver too much, it will start affecting all the other systems of the body. And then what do they say next, Dr. Ravi? Well, I do kefir instead of yogurt. So, yes. So the problem is, once again, you got to remember they have to mass produce these things. It's not like this little mom and pop shop and, you know, making homemade kefir and delivering it with these little glass bottles to your neighborhood store. It's not like that anymore. So they have to over-process, homogenize, pasteurize to keep these things stable and to make some money. So the kefir normally is not your best quality dairy, and a lot of them are filled with sugar. You know, they put all those fresh berry pictures on the label.
It's appealing,
so
though.
It is appealing. And really, there is a lot of links to dairy and cancer and carcinogens. So I do, like, we had some hard cheese, imported cheese from Ireland last night. And, you know, we were like, oh, the power of cheese, because it's so true. It's delicious. I mean, it's absolutely delicious. Who doesn't love cheese? But to have your child start every morning with a cup of yogurt and then possibly have other dairy throughout their day could be dangerous to not only their immunity, but also their nasal health, their sinus cavity. It produces mucus.
I'm going to share a clinical scenario here.
Oh, please do. You know I don't ever do that stuff.
All the patients that have like eczema, psoriasis, skin conditions, and allergies, especially for the little population, the kids that I see in the practice, we take away all the dairy. We limit the dairy that they're on, and their symptoms go away.
Yeah,
you know, their skin
and
becomes
sometimes
more
in
clear.
days.
In days they see a difference. They don't even get the nauseous feeling anymore. They're actually able to tolerate foods that they weren't able to before when they had the food, the dairy.
I'm so glad you brought that up, Dr. Ravi, because I don't know if you remember my story, why I got into nutrition, but at 13 years old, I had welts and cysts all around my jawline, and it was all dairy.
Dairy-related,
and the doctors didn't even know. It was a nutritionist that my sister met that actually told my mom, take her off dairy. And literally, it's just like they disappeared. Your body's going to find a way to reject things that are poison to it. So if your child has allergies, you know, the sniffles, the, you know, posal nasal drip, ear infections.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. There's a phenomenal pediatrician, 30 years in his practice. He completely directly linked all of the ear infections to dairy. Yeah. Oh my gosh, you're bringing back a lot of memories from my past research. But yeah, so folks, I know dairy is delicious and it's convenient. But if you're a child, if you want the best for your family, I would consider really cutting back, if not completely eliminating. I still do Parmesan cheese and we try to do pizza occasionally. But like last night, I had a pizza that was all vegetables without cheese, and it was absolutely delicious. And you could always just sprinkle a little Parmesan cheese. Most of the time, like a lot of the kids just want the starch or the crust, you know, not so much the dairy.
So for probiotics, what there's so many out there.
There is.
What's your best dosage?
Well, I have to.
brand?
I feel like I keep promoting them, but the Garden of
Garden of
Life
Life,
makes
okay.
a really incredible chewable. But I have a few others that are amazing. But you would, unless the child can swallow a small capsule, they would have to open it up.
Okay.
The problem is that so many of us were so highly acidic, and our pH is off, that I'm not sure the stability of opening up a capsule, because a lot of these companies spend most of their research on making the capsule appropriate so it can make it to where it's needed.
Yeah.
And so if you do it in the mouth, I'm not really sure of the stability. But the chewables are meant for that. And again, they're clean. There's like watermelon flavor, strawberry, banana, and they're really popular. And I give 20% off Garden of Life every day.
All right.
So if you want to start with a chewable, but encourage your children to learn how to swallow small pills. A lot of these supplements that are extremely beneficial and that have no side effects, no toxicity, normally are just small little capsules to swallow. All right, the next one is zinc. Now, zinc, major popularity right now,
Yeah.
but I have to say that we've been promoting it for 30 years. We would always tell people just do one little zinc chewable or one little zinc pill, just a small dose every day for prevention. And then if you have any signs or cough, cold, throat issues, then you start tripling up. So I say that once again, it's about prevention. Don't wait until your body gets weak, tired, sick to start considering supplements. Stock the pantry now. Start eating well now. It's always easier to prevent than to treat. Do you agree with that, Dr.
I
Ravi?
agree with that a million times.
Yeah. So the zinc, oh my gosh. Once again, Garden of Life, they make a food-based zinc that is amazing. It has all the superfoods that naturally have zinc occurring, like pumpkin seeds.
Yes.
Pumpkin seeds have
Great
tons
snack,
of zinc
too.
in it. Great snack. Kids, when they get home or just during the day, can snack on pumpkin seeds. Great healthy fats and great source of zinc. So zinc not only, and this is how you convince your teens to take the zinc, is not only it's great for the immune system, but it's great to heal the skin, like for acne, prevent acne scars. This is how you get them to take this stuff. I always used to say for my boy, I would always convince him, oh, it's going to make your muscles big and make your skin look better. And for my daughter, oh, your hair's going to grow and your nails are going to grow. It's like you got to play tricks with them a little
Yes.
bit,
Yeah.
know? But it technically is true. I was not lying. And then the next supplement that's always in there for everyday use is vitamin D3, which, everyone knows
Yes.
D3.
But we're
they're
also deficient in it.
yeah, we're so deficient. And again, like I haven't got much sun lately, and here it is in Florida, dead of August, super hot. But our lives, we get busy, we don't get outside, whether that's the case or sunblocks or who knows. But D3, it's so affordable. I have it in sprays. You can get it in chewables. You can get it in tiny little soft gels. Easiest thing to swallow ever. But you want, a lot of parents are like, well, Joanne, how much? What do you normally suggest for your clients? We'll see if we're in the same thinking.
5,000.
Okay. All right. So, yeah. So now for me, what I usually do is I suggested 2,000 twice a day. So I'm pretty close to your
Okay,
mark,
yeah.
about 4,000. I just I'm still very conservative as far as the dosing at the time, thinking, let the body process a small amount at a time and then give it another dose in the later part of the day. That's the way I've always rolled. So D3, definitely another one. And then we're going to go back to you, Dr. Ravi. And then when we come back to me, I'm going to talk about all the things I have in the pantry for when the prevention doesn't work and something perks its ugly head up. So,
All right. So I want to talk about toxicity. So toxicity,
Ooh,
the things that we
yuck.
encounter on a day-to-day
Okay.
basis. So especially with our kids, one big word here is phthalates. These are used in cosmetic products, the shampoos that they're using, even soaps. And other products such as if you young teen, she's now trying out makeup. So this is definitely seeping into our largest organ.
yep.
and our liver takes a toxic load on that, and that doesn't allow our body to produce the antioxidant it should, glutathione. So we start developing problems, a disease state. Another one that's big, especially in our younger kids, and even for anyone working at, in an office setting, bisphenol A. This is found in plastic bottles, so even containers.
Great
So
point. Yeah.
when we're taking our leftover lunch to work, our leftover dinner to work for lunch, we're putting that in plastic containers, and we put it in a microwave. This is a recipe for disaster.
Oh my gosh. Schools, I don't know if you know this, but schools, I don't know if they're doing it now because of COVID, but they usually have a community microwave.
Yes.
And you see these kids with all this different plastic just sapping it in and out, all like that door, boom, boom,
Taking
boom.
me back to my childhood days.
Ugh,
Yeah, I
gross.
used to see those things.
All right.
Yeah.
And never refill plastic water bottles, people.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Because this is bisphenol A, and what that does, it can mimic very important hormones, which are very important for those younger kids, that are now entering puberty. So estrogen, testosterone, and this can cause issue when we talk about insulin resistance. So diabetes, PCOS, though I see a lot of younger girls already facing, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome.
Yep.
So painful menstrual cycles, where they're losing a lot of blood in their cycle, becoming anemic. So simple things like switching out your water bottle for a steel type bottle, or even a glass container, is going to be more sufficient and better instead of choosing that plastic.
Do you mind if I add a tip right now? So the girls bought beautiful thermal containers, and what we did for a long time, and they loved it, we would take leftovers from dinner and we would heat them up and put them in those containers that would stay hot until their lunchtime. So they didn't have to use a microwave or plastic, and it's so easy. And you can give them fresh food instead of all this processed little baggies and bag foods. It's something hot and usually more more yummy because it's leftover dinner. So
yeah. And I've actually brought a lot of new patients that just came in recently were our nurses. So that work right next door at the Cleveland Clinic. And so, when we sit down with a patient, not only do they get chiropractic, but we look at their nutrition as well. So I ask them, what are they eating? And they're eating these quick meals that they put in the microwave.
yeah.
And so they're like, there's no other choice. And so this is where these shakes that you were talking about in the beginning are the best approach for them.
Right. It's because they want something affordable and
Yes.
quick. And so they buy a lot of those frozen meals, buy 3 for $10.
And they think they're doing good by getting
and it's not
nutrients,
even enough
and
calories
it's
either.
not, no.
It's like, oh my gosh, you're starving your body. It's only like 200
Starving
calories.
and putting more toxins in the body.
Exactly.
On top of a stressful type of workload, right? This is once again a recipe for disaster.
And I want to, if any of your moms are out there or dads saying, oh, but my daughters are too young to worry about this. No. What Dr. Ravi is discussing, these hormone disruptors, we are both seeing it in younger and younger girls. We are talking like 8 years old. So if you've been doing a lot of animal products, a lot of dairy foods, a lot of plastics and microwavable foods or drive-through, hormone disruption will be a problem. And when you see your little girl with PMS and she can't get off the couch for 5 days, you're going to go, oh boy.
Yeah. And that's why I shared the study in the beginning, because now these are the changes that we need to make now with these younger individuals, because by the time they're 27, their health is downhill from there.
And I know we're getting off on a tangent, but we should do a show about this, because now what's happening too is these young girls as young as like 10 and 11 are going on birth control to stabilize hormones, when that was never the issue. It wasn't their hormones, it was the hormone disruptors they were adding to toxify their body. And just like you mentioned diabetes over and over, the parents are like, well, I have diabetes, my parents did, so I just passed it down to them. Diabetes does not, type 2 diabetes does not get passed down. The lifestyle gets passed down. But you don't
What you
literally,
do
it's
is,
not
yeah.
like you gave them this cell that's now they're going to get diabetes. But yeah, if they do eat refined carbs and they have these hormone disruptors, it's not all about what they eat. It's about the whole story.
Yeah. And with these young kids, we talked about the phthalates that are in our products, the bisphenol A that are also in our materials that we're using, creating toxicity issues. And one best way to get rid of toxins is supplying our body with the best nutrients, but also exercising. So exercising helps to create circulation, get your lymph nodes working well, and expelling those things. So for the kids, we want to make sure that they're dancing, finding, getting involved in gymnastics, roller skating in their neighborhood.
Yep.
Using a simple jump rope.
Which they don't have to go to a place. They can do it
gym,
right outside.
right in their driveway, yes.
Yep.
Anything that's fun for your child or your grandkid that increases movement.
Definitely. Well, I have to interject my whole mini trampoline rebounder.
Oh, that's great.
My kids have been using it since they could walk. And I believe in my heart that's the major reason that they've never had an ear infection. Because honestly, your lymph needs to be moved. Your lymph fluid, which is more than the blood volume in your body, it doesn't have the heart to help it pump. You have to pump it. That's your immunity. So if you get a little tiny mini rebounder, they're so economical now. They used to be over $100. Now you can get one for $25. You put it and you tell them, okay, you can watch that program if you go on the rebounder the same time. It's, total bribery. But I've had my kids at 3 a.m. when they've started like holding their ear or feeling off. And right away, I probably look like a psycho mom, but I take them downstairs and say, okay, chew a piece of gum and jump on this rebounder. And I would say 9 out of 10 times it always works if you do it right away. If you give them a toxic, drug like a Tylenol, ibuprofen, all that, and then send them back to bed, you didn't get at the cause. You just suppressed the symptom. They're going to wake up probably worse off. So the issue is not the temperature. The issue is not the pain. The issue is the cause. So,
get to the root cause.
Get to the root cause. If you set them up for that cycle in life where you just constantly throw at like a pain reliever or a temperature reducer, which is toxic to our liver and kidneys, you're not setting them up well to learn. Yeah, it's like, you had this huge ice cream sundae from Kilwins, and and if there's no coincidence, your sugar inflamed you, and so really, I mean, this is a simple truth. You just got to get them to eat a little protein, drink some water, move their body, and they'll be rolling their eyes at you, but it will work.
Yes.
Oh, so should I go into what's left in my little box there? Okay, so let's put my glasses back on. All right, so real quick, please watch out for sugar-free things when you're shopping for your child's meals, okay? So sugar-free means artificial, means chemical, means bad for the liver. So if you see low sugar, sugar-free, stay clear of those things, okay? Right now, everyone's about antibacterial. Let's keep in mind it's not bacteria that's killing us, okay? So please be careful about having your kids, especially if they go into the school system, lathering themselves with all these antibacterials. Most of them, if not all of them, are based on 2 factors, alcohol and a very harmful chemical. So you please make your own, find one that's natural, or just tell them only do the hand washing idea, which is so much healthier. If you constantly have a child putting alcohol and chemicals on their skin, remember the skin is a living organ. It's our largest living organ. You will hurt them. I had a good friend literally almost pass out, and this was an adult, from doing too much antibacterial. The other thing is mouthwash. A lot of people think, oh, let me kill all the bad stuff in the mouth because that will stop them from getting anything in their mouth if there's germs in there. Just the opposite. You kill the good bacteria that has a gateway for the bad stuff to not come in. So watch out for the alcohol in the mouthwashes, the artificial sweeteners, the artificial colors. You're not doing any good and you're doing more harm. There is a product called xylitol. It's a natural sweetener. They make natural mouthwashes, or you can just buy the xylitol powder and put it in a little water and swish it in the mouth. Not only does the bad bacteria not feed on this type of sweet powder, but it actually kills the bad bacteria. And there's so many studies that'll prevent gum disease, which gum disease, a big point, 70% of cardiovascular issues stem from gum disease. So that innocent lollipops or sugar treats that you think, oh, it's just about cavities. No, it's about your kids' gums will start rotting away, and then that bad stuff will leach into their body. So don't take, and especially if your child's thin, so many parents like, oh, well, they're thin, they can have sugar. It's no big deal. They're
That
not
doesn't
heavy.
matter.
It doesn't matter size. Size has nothing to do with it. Sugar creates poison in the body, inflammation in the body, and it's bad no matter how you look at it. So mouthwash only hurts. Hand sanitizer only hurts. Just please try to make your own or have them encourage hand washing more than anything. Any final points? I think I talked fast enough.
Coconut milk.
Coconut oil, yes.
Coconut oil.
Yes, yeah, you can oil pull with coconut
pull.
oil or swish that around. The whole idea is get that bad bacteria out and not feed it. And you know what? Xylitol has shown to be as effective as oil pulling. Do you know that? As doing it as a pulling. And much more kid friendly, because I know my kids will oil pull, but not so long. They get over it, but this is like a sweet. So they usually enjoy doing the xylitol, and it has that same effect they're showing as oil pulling.
Okay.
Maybe not the 4,000 years of history but
yeah.
still a good thing. All right. Whew. All right. So we have to tell our parents one day at a time, right?
That's
one day at a time.
One change makes a big difference over time.
And seek help. You're not in this alone. Go to people that can be your support team, chiropractors, whether you have Dr. Ravi in your neighborhood, find people that are like-minded on this journey. Don't try to do it alone. Find a group of parents or caretakers that think like you, that maybe you guys can take turns with swapping healthy dinner ideas, recipe exchanges. We got this. We can do this. Our kids are going to be okay. We're going to be okay, but just one day at a time.
We'll get through it.
We're going to get through it. All right, everyone. Hope you enjoyed today's show. Remember, I'm 11 to 3, Monday through Saturday. Dr. Ravi's right out of Tradition Family Chiropractic. All right, look us up, and hope you guys have a great week. All right. Thanks, Dr. Ravi. Bye.
Joanne's World of Nutrition, heard every Thursday morning in the 10 o'clock hour, brought to you by Nutrition World. Nutrition World is located in what used to be known as the Arcade Building across from City Hall in Fort Pierce, now known as the Crest Plaza. Tune in every Thursday morning at 10:05 for Joanne's World of Nutrition, right here on WPSL Port St. Lucie, the Google Home, Alexa, and the TuneIn app for your cell phone.